So, do you want to draw those hot Korean semi-realistic guys in Pinterest? Well, let's learn how to draw them. Just a quick disclaimer though, literally anything can be considered semi-realistic, even anime. So what I'm about to show you guys is just my style. Okay, so step 1, find references. Remember my most important rule ever. Never draw ugly people. If you want to make good art, you have to draw hot people. Also make sure to find good references, not bad ones. Step 2, sketch. So let's start sketching. The first thing I do when I sketch is to lay out the silhouette. So what I did was I made a rough sketch of his whole body before going into the details. Alright, so now for the fun part, which is simplifying. So this is my art versus the reference. So if you've noticed, I made some exaggeration with the face. The eyes are bigger in the drawing, the nose is a little bit smaller, and the mouth is slightly open. You don't have to draw the mouth like that, by the way. I just like drawing it like that because it's hot. Anyway, the point is, I didn't draw the face with overly realistic proportions, which is why we call it semi-realism. What makes this realistic is that it still somehow maintains the proportions, but very loosely. See, I explained this in my earlier videos, but since I want y'all to keep watching this video, I'm gonna explain it again. Just keep in mind the 50-50-50 rule so your faces wouldn't look weird. See, half the face is where the eyes are, and then split that in half and you get the nose, and then split that in half again and you get the mouth. And what do you know? This face follows that guideline. Also, even if I drew the eyes too big, notice how it's still one eye apart, which is how our proportions are. Essentially, semi-realism is just realism with a bit of exaggeration. I mean, you could literally go crazy with your art as long as you make the eyes bigger, and it's still gonna turn out great. At least that's what I do. Okay, so now we've drawn the basic sketch. That's right folks, just a sketch. I don't really want to clean up on my sketch because first off, I'm kinda lazy, and also we can just fix that along the way. It's best to keep the sketch rough because the semi-realism art style is more focused on the coloring and painting. Okay, so to start off, I pick really neutral-ish colors for the skin. I usually pick colors around here. I put them on another layer. Usually when I paint, I only use about 1 to 3 layers because like it's just really tedious to paint on so many layers, but it just depends on the artist whether you want a lot of layers or not. Okay, another thing to keep in mind is the type of brush that you're using. This is actually really important because you could literally save so much time if only you use the right brushes. So if you've noticed, I'm using Clip Studio Paint right now because in my previous videos, I use Paint Tool Sai. Don't get me wrong, I love Sai, but Clip Studio Paint has a huge community, which means that a lot of people make resources like brushes in the asset store for free, which means that there are so many custom brushes that I downloaded and experimented with. A while back, I was struggling so much on the hair, I spent like 30 minutes trying to erase and then redraw the hair, and it just sucked. In my previous drawings, I only used the mechanical pencil to draw and color everything. And it was so hard, and then I realized, wait a second, I literally just made a video explaining how to use what other people worked hard for to your advantage. But to be frank, would you really want to spend so many years just trying to build up an original art style when you can just steal? So I decided, let's do that. Let's search for some brushes. And let me tell you, I was done in like 5 minutes because brushes really are important. Because like different brushes blend in different ways and they have different textures. And for example, if you want to paint the hair, you have to use a brush that has those textured bristles or whatever. By the way, I still love Paint Tool Sai and I use it sometimes, but Clip Studio is definitely more advanced. This isn't sponsored by the way, but Clip Studio, if you're watching this, how you doing? So the last tip I could give you is to beautify your work. Remember when I told you not to draw ugly people and to always draw hot people? Well, this is sort of connected. So let's just focus on this part of the drawing. I know that it's sloppily drawn, okay, but let's try to compare it with our reference right here. As you can see, our reference sort of has this Adam's apple and whatever the heck that is. I didn't put that in my drawing, and take a look at his suit. There's a lot of subtle yet complicated stuff going on in his suit, and I didn't draw that either. You know why? Is it because I'm a lazy artist? Maybe, but that's not the point. My point is, I had to pick which part of his face was the focal point of my drawing. What do I want the viewer to focus on? His beautiful face, or his Adam's apple, or the suit? Obviously, I would focus on the face, although I could focus on the Adam's apple, but I'm not. I want the viewer to focus on the face. So, the last tip, remove all distractions and do a lot of emphasis. Beautify. So here's a quick review of everything while I'm showing you guys the full process of my drawing. 1. Find a reference and make sure that your reference can easily be broken down. 2. Sketch and exaggerate the features. 3. Color and blend. Also find the right brushes, this is very important. And finally, make everything more beautiful and remove all distractions. I don't know about you guys, but if someone were to pay me to draw their face and then I included their pimple in my drawing, I'm pretty sure my client would be offended. So anyway, if you've just discovered my channel and you want to learn more about how to draw, check out this playlist right here. I made a lot of tutorials for y'all to watch. So if you like this video, please leave a like and hit subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay cool!